Welcome to another exciting tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to talk about tables, Microsoft tables. Yeah. Now in my previous video I talked about images. How do you include images in your Word document? We also talked about how can you be able to save the document, the Word document that you have been working on. And finally we talked about how to print a document and also to do those settings around the printer so that you can go to get the right output in your as you are printing the document. Now in this particular one, we are going to focus so much on the table. Now what is a table? A table basically is a combination of rows and columns. Now in this particular tutorial, we'll be able to look at how do you create a table? How do you populate a table? And then how can you be able to do some minor calculations on the table? For example, you are dealing with a PQ, or maybe you're coming up with the marks of students, and then you don't want to use any other tool. You just want to use Microsoft Word to do all those calculations. So it is possible for you to do that using Microsoft Word. And then finally, we are going also to look at how do you merge, how do you split the table, how do you do all those kind of things. And that is exactly what you're going to focus on in this particular tutorial. Now let's dive in and see how you're going to create a table. Now remember, we have already a blank document set. So if you missed on how you can be able to start a Microsoft Word window, or how you can be able to start a Microsoft Word program, you can go to the description section and check for the link that enable you to learn on how to start Microsoft Word program. Now let's go to insert, click on insert, and then go to its written table. Now, in this option of table, if you click on this drop down arrow, you'll be able to realize that there are three ways to create a table. There are three ways to create a table. Now, the first one is by use of the template. Now, this is what we call a template. You can see that when I hover, I've not clicked anything. But the moment I pass my mouse on top of any of these boxes, automatically at the background, that particular table is being created. That's what we call the use of the template. So we have got a template up to this particular point. So it allows you to create a table that contains all these boxes that have been put here. Now, supposing you want to use maybe, or you want to create a table that has got 100, or maybe it has got 1,000 versus 1,000. Such kind of information cannot be, or that kind of table cannot be created using a template. So there is need for you to use the second option, and that is what we call insert table. Now, when I click on insert table, you realize that it will bring a dialog box that allows you to select the number of rows that you want and the number of columns that you want. You are also supposed to select the behavior on how that particular table is supposed to behave. So you have fixed column width, so it's automatic. Then you have auto fit to contents. That one has not been selected. What do we mean by that? Is that in case somebody writes the text that exceeds a certain point, automatically it is going to be readjusted so that it can go to accommodate that content. So that one has not been selected. Then we have got auto fit to window. So that one allows you to fix that table within the window frame. Now, going further, the last one is that we can go for the last option. We have what we call draw text, draw table. Draw table allows now you to draw how they want that table to appear. So you just use a pen, and then you can be able to draw the way that table is supposed to appear. So you can see I'm just drawing simply by holding the left button on my mouse, and then I drag, and then I can be able to get a table nice the way it is looking in this particular case. So that's the use of what we call a draw table option. And then this draw table option allows you also to add the data. Maybe you can be able to add the name. You can also be able to add many options. You can go to add here. So you can also be able to add here. Maybe you can say age. And then you can also be able to add the last options that maybe, for example, you are talking about gender. So that is the information that you can go to enter on this table. Simple. The table that has just been created using maybe drawing it. Now that's the first, that is the third way. But the second way we said is by the use of what you call the insert table. So how do you do that? You just go to insert, you go to table, and then you go to insert table. And then you are supposed to select the number of rows and columns. So for example, I can select 4 by 4. I can just select 4 by 4. So 4 by 4 means 4 rows and 4 columns. So 4 rows by 4 columns, and then make sure that it's fixed. The columns are fixed, and then you just click OK. So you can see that is the table that has been brought to you, and then you can go to enter data that you want. For example, I can go to enter math name. I can just say maths. You can say English, and then you can say total. Yeah. So that is the information that I wanted to fit there. So let me try to stretch it out so that it is visible enough. So that is it. So we said this is the first way to create a table is by drawing. I've already shown you that. The second way, it was by the use of insert table. You can see how I've been able to navigate that. And then the last way is by the use of the template. So I go to insert, and then I go to table, and then I go to this template. I just hover over this template, and then automatically at the background, a table is being created. Now, these are the three ways to create a table. So you can choose the one that you're comfortable with, and then you can go to create a table. Now, in this particular tutorial, I'm going to focus on the second option, that is insert table. The second option is insert table. So in order for you to do that, I've already done that here. I've created 3 tables. So I'm going to concentrate on the second one. So I'm going to let some information here, John, and then John has scored 70, and John has scored also 80. And then we have another student, we have Mark, and then Mark has scored 43, and then Mark has also scored 56. And then finally we have another student called Joan. So Joan has scored 77, and also Joan has scored 89. So those are the marks of the students. Now, in order for you to be able to maybe for instance, you have already entered this data and you realize that one student is missing. So you want to add that one student. So there's that option of add row. So in order for you to add row, for example, I want to add a row after Joan. So I click on Joan, that's row for Joan, anywhere within this particular row, anywhere within this row. And then after clicking anywhere within that row, I just right click, and then I go to it's written insert. So you can see insert. So insert option is there, and then when you hover ahead of it, it is going to give you 2 options. Is it insert row above, or do you want to insert the row below? So for this case, I want to insert the row below. So when I click on it, you'll be able to see a new row has been added, and then I can be able to add another student with its marks. So you can go to add students there with their own marks, like that. Now, for example, also I am missing one subject. I'm missing one subject, and I also want to add another subject. Maybe I want to add Swahili. So I right click there, and then I go to insert, and then I go to column on the right or the left. So when you talk about the right, it's going to be on the right hand side. So I click on it, and then you can see that that particular subject has been added. So I can say science has been added, and then we can also be able to calculate the marks of those students in this particular case, like that. Now, after doing that, the next thing that you want to do, maybe for example, I also want to add another row at the top. So I click on this particular row, and then I just right click, and then I go to insert, and then I go and say insert row above. So by so doing, it's going to add another row at the top here. Now, supposing I want to link, or I want to make this row to be one cell. That's what we call merging. So merging is the ability for you to combine or to compress or to combine all these cells into one cell. So how do you go about it? You need to highlight the entire row, and then after highlighting the entire row, you go to insert. we go to page layout. Go to the layout. Remember, we have got two layout. We have the page layout and then we have the table layout. So don't go for the first option, go for the second option here, and then you go to merge. You click on merge. So the moment you click on merge, that particular cell or that particular row has been merged into one cell, and therefore I can write there class marksheet. You can write there class marksheet. Yeah. And then after that, you can see that the text is not appearing at the center. So there is also that privilege that enabled you to center, align your text or your heading. So how do you go about it? You can highlight this text here and then go to layout, table layout, and then the table layout, we have got various alignments that you can go to apply. So you can go to select, for example, this. So automatically it is going to move this heading at the center of that particular table. So when you double click on it, and then you can go to click on B to bold it so that it happens to be looking so nice in this case. Now the last thing that I want to show you is just to calculate the totals for every student. So in order for you to calculate the total, you just go to table layout and then go to FX. So the FX part is going to ask you sum what? Sum left. So sum left means that it's going to calculate all the numeric data on the left hand side. So when I just click OK, automatically it's going to give me that feedback. You come to the second one, you click on FX again. Now you can see that it is changing to above, but above means that you're going to calculate, you're going to get the answer 228 because that is not correct positioning. So it's supposed to be converted into sum left. Remember, there's something that you need to pay attention. You don't need to interfere with the brackets. Don't interfere with the brackets, just interfere with the content within the bracket. And then after doing that, you just click OK. And then you go to the next one, you go to FX, and then after that you go to also change it to left. Left. And then after doing that, you just click OK. And last but not least, you click on that and then you go to FX. And then after that, you just need to do what? To highlight that and also be able to there left so that you can get the right figures. So that is exactly how you can be able to create a table. And then you can also be able to split this table. So the only thing you need to do, identify where you want to split the table, and then you click on split table. Automatically you can see the table has been split into two parts. That's how you can put to split a table in this case. So this one will be treated as a different table. This one is also going to be treated as a different table. You can also be able to change the text direction using this particular icon here. So in case I want to change the text direction, I just use these options. Okay, let's here in front. Yeah, you can as well be able to sort your data. Basically, you select the data that you want to sort, and then you can go to carry out the sort return. Okay, so that's how you can go to create a table, and that's how you can go to create a table. And how can we go to insert images and also to insert the data, and also how you can go to calculate this particular case. So bye bye for now until the next video. Stay tuned and subscribe to my YouTube channel.